and welcome to The Nation. You're with me, Tamina Kauji, coming to you live from the Bernama News Channel studios. You can watch us on Astro Channel 502 as well as My TV Channel 121 as well as Hip TV Channel 410. And if not that, you can also go online to www.bernama.com. Well, on that note, today, right on the heels of Malaysia's Independence Day and of course with Malaysia Day also coming up, we have a very interesting topic on The Nation, which is all about engaging the Malaysian youth. And with that in mind, we have with us together not just the Chairperson of the Commonwealth Youth Council, who is Kishva Ambigapathy, but as well as Jufitri bin Joha, Vice President for the Malaysian Youth Council, two organizations which have independently as well as collaboratively been doing their bit certainly to help Malaysian youth come into not just Malaysia today but beyond 2020 and into TN50 as well. So on that note, welcome Kishva, welcome Jufitri. How are you guys today?
Yeah, fine.
All right,
thank you.
Great. Okay, so thank you so much for also coming in on a public holiday in the spirit of, sharing with us a little bit more about what each one of you do. So perhaps let's start off with Jufitri bin Joha. Jufitri, so tell us a little bit about the Malaysian Youth Council. What is this organization all about? How long have you been around? And what are some of the main things you're working towards?
Yeah, Tamina, thank you very much. Malaysian Youth Council was established in 1948. Okay. 7 years before our independent days. So at that time, the aim and the main objective of Malaysian Youth Council is to unite the young people for the independent. So we became a platform to unite all the youth in Malaysia. And the first of our affiliates members was Penang Youth Council. So at that time, our base was in Penang. And later on, and until now, we have at least 39 main youth organizations. And of course, after the Independence Day, our main objective is to be the partner in nation buildings, to help the government in building our nation and our countries. And so we are being recognized by our government through the Youth Development Act as the official voice of the young people in Malaysia. So our main duty and task is to voice out on behalf of the almost 14 million youth in Malaysia and bring up their voice aspiration up to the government. So that is basically our history. Yeah.
Right, wonderful. Yeah. Now moving from the Malaysian Youth Council to the Commonwealth Youth Council. Now Kishva, you are the chairperson of this organization. Tell us a little bit about on your end of things. What does the Commonwealth Youth Council represent, particularly whatever it is in a post-Commonwealth nation? We are 60 years old this year. Now, what is the relevance still of being part of this bigger ecosystem of the Commonwealth, and how does it actually help Malaysia and in particular young Malaysians?
Right, thank you very much, Samina. The CYC, the Commonwealth Youth Council, is the official representative for the 1.2 billion young people across the Commonwealth of 53 nations. If you look at the CYC, more of our role is towards advocacy, towards launching campaigns, looking at how voices of young people at marginalized levels, at grassroots levels, are better amplified to high-level meetings in the United Nations, at our Commonwealth Youth Ministers meeting, the Commonwealth Foreign Ministers meeting, looking at how issues can be addressed by actors who are looking at implementing policies which affect young people. So the CYC, in our capacity, engage with our young people to collect their voice, at the same time empower them through the initiatives which they have. If you look at the young people today, we are, I think, at the most youngest population this year. In fact, it's over 1.8 billion young people across the world, and it's the youngest we've ever had in this world, and 1.2 of them from the Commonwealth.
Exactly.
So that's a huge constituency and a large voice, and to ensure that we continuously serve these young people, to ensure that the voices are heard, the concerns are heard, and to also look at how they can better contribute to the overall global development agenda. That is something which we are really working towards too.
Right, wonderful. Now, with that in regard also, at the moment we are playing, of course, on the backdrop, a video of yourself when you attended the Commonwealth Youth Council in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, and you were the mace bearer. Can you tell us a little bit about your role during this meeting, as well as what does this symbolically mean for Malaysian youth?
Well, for me, I was very grateful for the opportunity, truly humbled, because it was the first time a Malaysian was selected for that opportunity, and not only a Malaysian, one from the Asia Pacific region.
Right.
And if you look in terms of the protocols of the ceremony, the mace bearer is positioned right after the royal family. So
That's
even the head of the Dean of the Westminster Abbey, or even the Prime Minister of the countries would have to wait for the mace bearer first, because that is the symbol of unity of 53 nations coming together, entrusted in that golden mace which was given to the bearer. And I was really grateful to be given that opportunity from the Queen. So yes, it was a proud moment to walk across the platforms in Westminster Abbey, carrying the Malaysian identity, of course, but also representing the voices of the young people across the Commonwealth.
That's right. Now, moving to the Malaysian Youth Council itself. Now, what are some of the spearheaded programs which are the most important for yourselves and your colleagues on the committee in 2016 to not just launch but to see succeed?
Yeah, among of our important program, back to our main objective, as we noticed that Malaysian Youth Council is synonymous with producing states leaders or
That's
futures leaders. So our main aim this time around, we have a agenda called MBM in Business, MIB, aiming to produce more young leaders to become future leaders. So our aim nowadays is to have a capacity building training among the young people to identify those young people who got leadership talent to be brought up and to be exposed to the higher platform, for example. We have so far we have many young people who's leading the international youth platform, like for example Kishva we have in Commonwealth Youth Council, and in fact we are offering our leadership through the global platform, such as we are the Secretary General of the Committee of ASEAN Youth Cooperation, CAYC, at the Southeast Asia level. We are also the Secretary General of the ASEAN Youth Council, coming from Malaysia. And of course we are the President of World Assembly of Youth, which is based in Malacca. So nowadays we are focusing more on the leadership program to spot the talent, the young people talent, to expose them to slightly higher program like youth exchange, capacity building training, and also we have our specific MIB, MBM in Business Leadership Training.
Right.
So currently we are, having a roadshow, having a program around Malaysia to train them.
Right. And how has the most important thing, of course, is what's the response been like from the Malaysian youth that you meet on the ground? And this is a question for both Kishva as well as you, Jufitri. Are the youth positive? What type of hopes or aspirations do they share with yourselves and as well as your colleagues when you meet them on the road, when you work with them, when you're trying to activate their fullest potential? Are they open to it, or is it still something which they have to sort of be dragged towards?
Yeah, I think the most basic needs of the young people, they want their voice to be heard.
Yes.
And they want their issues being tackled, and also they want to contribute towards the nations. So when we engage with the young people through our leadership program, so they are really appreciate and they think that this is a good platform for them to start to engage with the government, to participate in a slightly global program and activities. So they think that this is a good start for them. So of course by having this kind of platform, we give them a place for them to thrive and to expose themselves to slightly higher and bigger program outside there. So in short, we identify that this is a good platform for them because they want their voice to be heard and they need platform to contribute towards the nation. So far we have at least many channels to channel their voice through our leadership program. So we have at least two main programs so far. Youth Parliament at the ministry or the government level, and we also have at the same time National Consultative Youth Council.
I see.
Chaired by the Minister of Youth and Sport, YBKJ. So this is a leadership platform that they can voice out their aspiration, their needs, their grievances towards the government.
Yes, TN50 also, as we have.
Yeah, TN50 is another platform.
Exactly. Now moving on to Kishva. So Kishva, what are some of the main initiatives which the Commonwealth Youth Council is also working on, perhaps collaboratively with the Malaysian Youth Council?
I think the Malaysian Youth Council has always been a strong partner to the CYC amidst all the other national youth councils in the Commonwealth. But in particular in Malaysia, we have this strong relationship because the CYC's head office is now moving to Malaysia. And we're working closely with the Malaysian Youth Council to see how better the positioning of this council here impacts the young people, not only young Malaysians but also around the Asia Pacific region.
Right.
But in particular with Malaysian youth, I think we have engaged with one TN50 dialogue. We called it TN50 Huddle, which we had in Sunway University, aligning the TN50 vision to the Sustainable Development Goals. How young people in Malaysia would want to see Malaysia be more actively involved in the development space.
Right.
And how we as young Malaysians can contribute to that. And we've engaged with many talented young actors and activists to see how we can better influence the TN50 agenda. So that's one. And adding on, I think it is important to consult young people. I think, and that is one step which I have to give credits to the Malaysian government. I think that over the past few years there is an increased level of engagement in terms of consulting the young people, crowdsourcing the TN50 vision. I think that's something which we have to give credit for. But moving on from there, I think one thing which we need to look forward is to how we could engage these young people, not only by just consultations, but also how we can let them contribute to this, to delivering the visions which they share. Not only at the consultation level, but looking at how they can participate, how they can help to implement these policies for us. I think that is important recognition needed to be given to young people.
Right, naturally. Now, how long will the Commonwealth Youth Council be headquartered within Malaysia itself, Kishva?
The term would not be defined until when, but as of now, until 2022.
I see.
The CYC's headquarters would be here. Also because Malaysia will be hosting the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in 2020. So the heads of government of the Commonwealth nations will come here to discuss issues relating to the Commonwealth, and that would be something very big which is happening, and the CYC being here would work closely to ensure that the youth component of it is delivered in the heads of government meeting.
All right. Now from the macro perspective to the micro, but first a quick commercial break and we'll be back right after that, so do stay tuned.
Listen to views of industry captains. Analyze and examine trends and projections. Gain market insights from subject matter experts. Biz Talk every Friday, 8:30 p.m. only on BNC.
Brings you the latest in current affairs, lifestyle and entertainment, as well as one-on-one discussions with fascinating personalities. Only on Bernama News Channel.
The Nation, a talk show from the Current Affairs desk with in-depth conversations on health, women, property, culture and performing arts. Only on Bernama News Channel.
Apakah itu pengurusan strata? Pengurusan sesuatu bangunan berstrata bermula setelah sesebuah pemajuan menyerahkan pemilikan kosong kepada pembeli serentak dengan hak milik strata. Pengurusan skim tersebut akan dilaksanakan oleh pemaju, JMB atau MC. Meskipun tanggungjawab pengurusan sesebuah skim itu jatuh ke atas mereka, pemilik juga harus melaksanakan kewajipan dengan menjelaskan caj penyelenggaraan yang ditetapkan. Kegagalan dalam menunaikan tuntutan ini akan menyebabkan pengurusan tergendala dan menyulitkan penghuni, dan kad akses pemilik juga boleh disekat. Nama dipaparkan di papan notis, dihalang menggunakan harta bersama, harta alih boleh disita dan boleh didenda di bawah Akta Pengurusan Strata 2013. Caj penyelenggaraan adalah tanggungjawab bersama bagi memastikan pengurusan strata yang berkualiti dan sempurna. Untuk maklumat lanjut, layari www.kpkt.gov.my.
Hello and welcome back to The Nation. Thanks for still being logged on to us. So we've been speaking about engaging Malaysian youth to not just the Commonwealth Youth Council but also the Malaysian Youth Council and their representatives in-house in our studio here. Now going back to that, Jufitri, this one's for you. So what do you think are some of the main problems or challenges in engaging Malaysian youth? Is it about recruitment? Is it about getting young people to buy in with your vision? Or is it actually about getting young people to commit to the movement once you are already part of it?
Yeah, I still remember when my supervisors in youth development PhD program once, he said that the young people is virtually connected but physically disconnected. They are connected but disconnected. This is the character of the young people nowadays worldwide, not only in Malaysia but worldwide. So our main challenge as the youth leader and the youth worker, if I may say, is to how to bring all the young people to join us in the youth association as the conservative platform. So we have to balance between digital platform and physical platform. Now our challenge is to teach the young people, hey, come and join us. It is very important to connect physically. So because they can learn a lot from joining our youth association. They learn how to be a leaders, they learn how to prepare the minutes, the boring matters in meeting, and we teach them how to have interpersonal skill, how to deal with difficult people and so on and so forth.
The most important thing really, especially in today's job market when you think of it, right?
Yeah. On how to, face the interviewers, for example. So that is our challenge nowadays, to bring as many young people to connect physically. So of course in our programs, so we have to formulate again our program. So we have to relook our program to ensure that our program is slightly sexy for the young people to join.
Appealing, okay.
Yeah, to appealing program that we have to offer. So that's why from time to time we have to think to come up with brilliant ideas on how to tackle the young people with certain creative and innovative programs. So that's why Malaysian Youth Council come up with program called Social Innovation Youth Center.
Okay.
So we want to transform the youth center to become more attractive and more interactive with the young people by providing them not only to solve their the social problem, but at the same time to provide economy opportunity for them. So we have to combine and to renovate our youth center to become more attractive, so they can hang out, they can learn something, they can learn skill that can make them thriving. So in short, we have to think about the brilliant ideas, innovative ideas to bring the young people to get closer to us.
So it's all about trying to find that balance between something being ideal but also practical, right? So where can youths find out more about both the Malaysian Youth Council as well as Commonwealth Youth Council? Are you active on social media? What's the response like so far?
We have to utilize all the social media platforms. So we are in Twitter, in Instagram. You just Google Malaysian Youth Council, or in Malay Majlis Belia Malaysia. So you can most of the young people can update our program from time to time. We sometimes offer leadership program, youth exchange program to go abroad to Japan or to China, to India, and so on and so forth. And sometimes we update our entrepreneurship program and our what we call it volunteerism program called MyCore and also MyVok. That's
So there's a load of options.
Yeah, a
really.
lot of
All you have to
option.
do is look
Yeah.
and take that first step.
Yeah.
Right, Kishva, where can people find young people find out about the
I
Commonwealth?
think as for CYC, it's different in a sense that most
Okay.
of our things happen in virtual space, and we need people to be engaged in that virtual area. And we are now
Right.
looking at how we're also trying to reach the offline crowds, especially to the members of our communities, let's say all in the Commonwealth communities in the Pacific region, the Africa region, which are most of them do not have internet. Internet is still a privilege for them.
Right, that's quite a challenge.
That is a big challenge. So that's
How does it work ultimately at the end of the day?
so most of the times which we try to do events around that area. So we had one entrepreneurship workshop in Fiji, looking at the Pacific Islands, and we just finished our youth ministers meeting in Uganda. So we'll try to do physical events in areas which need more participation by
Right.
physically present. But we also run a lot of virtual programs, being a macro level organization.
That's right.
We have campaigns. We do Twitter chats online. So we get our Secretary General, for instance,
Get the ball rolling.
to
right?
go online,
Yeah.
engage with young people through Twitter. Twitter and Facebook is our main medium of engaging. So we are on Twitter at Elias Official CYC.
Okay.
Facebook, it's Commonwealth Youth Council, and then we have our websites, commonwealthyouthcouncil.com. We have a monthly newsletter which goes out, what happens across the world. So whatever you want, any programs which you're interested in,
Right.
you can actually participate by just clicking in the form, and then it's very simple details, essays for some. I think many of our programs, one of the challenges which we face,
Right.
young people are avoiding the essay questions.
Okay.
So, but we need to understand the individual better. But I think that many of these opportunities which we have in the Commonwealth is true privilege, because everything is taken care of. Your
Exactly.
flight tickets are taken care of. You're given a daily allowance. You have accommodation. So it's a really rewarding experience. But we hope to get more young Malaysians in particular to be participating in these opportunities. So we've got one Commonwealth Youth Summit coming up here in Malaysia in November.
Right. In November. Okay,
yes,
that's
so we have
rather
got-
soon.
Yes, so it's going to happen in November. We're getting a few world leaders to come and to speak with young people. The theme is an intergenerational convergence, looking at how the need of generations to sit down, different generations to sit down and talk. And this is a cross-cutting issue, and we're looking at how we can address the sustainable development goals, be it in the areas of social cohesion, be it in the areas of peace building, climate change, youth policies, as well as entrepreneurship. So it's really cross-cutting. the areas.
Exactly. And I must ask you this now, have you seen a difference between the ideals and the aspirations of Malaysian youth as compared to others from the Commonwealth? Or are there some common themes that cut across all creeds, nationalities, races, religions that youth want today?
For me, I think, based on observations which we have engaged with young people, the more common one is youth unemployment. I think that is
Right.
all over across regions. That is something which we are all facing
Concerned,
as a
worried
big
about.
challenge.
Yes.
I think that's a generational problem, especially with automation and whatnot. But it is also good to see that there are more young people creating these job opportunities, more startups coming up, more entrepreneurs, more social entrepreneurs up there. So that's also a new area which young people are actually being
Exactly.
capitalizing on. But also, I think regionally there are also a lot of challenges. If you look at the demography of the Commonwealth nations, we have a lot of small island developing states.
That's right.
Climate change is a big issue for us. I think some of the countries which I've also visited, some of these countries are facing really. I think that the challenges are very strong.
Very
and
tangible.
It's. I think many young people are losing their house because of the floods. They have the hurricanes. Some to the extent that they're losing land space because of the rising levels of seawater. They're looking at other countries to host their country. So it's really
wider
that
problems.
drastic. Yes, and then there's also peace building. You're looking at how we are going to go against the narratives of Daesh, Boko Haram in Nigeria. So it's another regional Asia, Africa regional issue, which we're also looking at how young people can become peace builders, how young people become actors in terms of spreading the message of peace and countering violent extremism. And I think many young people, many talents out there. And for me, I think the biggest challenge young people face is the need of having an enabling environment. I think young people have a lot of talents. They have different ways of expressing themselves.
Definitely.
But to ensure that there's the right facility, there's right legislations, there's proper ways to ensure that their potential is fully realized. I think governments, public sectors, NGOs, and the youth councils, we have a very big role to play to ensure that each and every one of them really outshine. I think Malaysia is a very big
Nothing very perfectly put. Now, unfortunately, we've run out of time, gentlemen, but on that note, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.
And for anyone out there who's been watching us, please do go out and find the Malaysian Youth Council as well as the Commonwealth Youth Council on their Facebook, their Twitters, their Instagrams, and see what they are up to. Get involved. If you're a parent, get your children involved. If you're a youth, please get involved. Thanks for joining us here on The Nation. I'm Tamina Kauji signing off on the Bernama News Channel.